I would go outside my body. I would have different kinds of experiences that I was not able to put words into it.
Where do you think creativity comes from? Like the ideas?
A good one. So your ability to tap and download ideas, I believe, would be connected to your soul contract, your path. Sometimes I see a light code and I hear the music. You can allow the practice to show you and to give you the answers.
Where does the answers come from?
And you can even see that when you put sand on the speaker, the frequency will appear and then you will see a sacred geometry. But maybe you have a lucid dream when you dream in a dream. And you dream that you're holding space for you when you dream in another dream.
I mean, isn't everything lucid dreaming if we are living a dream?
We need to acknowledge that not everything is love and light, and you can bypass things that are happening in a collective.
You mentioned light codes.
Okay.
What are light codes? Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Decoded Journeys. For this episode, my intention is to dive into ways to not feed the illusion of the mind and the ego, which is basically thoughts of fear and doubt, to allow your soul's expression to come through you, through the voice, through creativity, through movement, and just to dive into that world with Daniela.
Hi,
Thank you
Rashed.
for coming.
Thank you so much for having me here.
How do you feel about today?
It's interesting because I never thought I would be here with you talking in front of cameras. We talked so many times without cameras, so this one is a little bit intimidating, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's something I would like to connect with, actually, with your intention that I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like we had a conversation outside and we both kind of shared the same, not intention, but same journey with being seen.
Yes.
So what brought you on this path of, I'm trying not to use the word healing a lot, but what brought you to the path of transformation and self-discovery?
Oh, okay. It's a nice question. It's a long path for me, but it's not as long as a life, so I'm still a student on this path. I think what brought me is I was so hungry for understanding of the things that I'm feeling, and my journey started, I believe, 2010-11, when there was so many things on internet, and I still remember a friend of mine introduced me to a chiropractor back home, and I was going to her sessions. And now I understand that she was actually feeling the energy through the body, and she was channeling the messages of the emotions she can feel directly on the body. That was just pulling me to explore and search for books, for knowledge anywhere that I can find. And then one of my friends from elementary school, his uncle is hypnotherapist. I still remember listening to the voices and being on the meditation. I would go outside my body. I would have different kinds of experiences that I was not able to put words into it because there were no words to describe. And that was the beginning. The rest is just seeking the clues to open the doors to understand where this is taking me.
Yeah, nice. And what did you realize during that time? Like any aha moments, any realizations?
There were so many. There were so many aha moments and realizations. I will touch that subject we spoke before we started. Usually those are the realizations would be around the subject when you outgrow the box you are in, and then you feel you can stretch your energy field, you can stretch your thoughts, you can stretch your mind a little bit more than yesterday and a month ago. And that practice became like a daily practice for me when I would stretch. And after certain experiences, like certain learnings, activations, different immersions, trainings, you really jump. And that stretch is not daily. And it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. Do you feel like the box that we're in is, like, what would you call it? Like the comfort zone?
It can have many names. We like to label. For somebody, it will be comfort zone. For somebody, it would be conditioning, different sorts of conditioning. The community, the consciousness we are in. It can be many things.
Yeah.
The more work we do, the more shadow we face, only then you can come to the pure heart. And actually, that's a lifetime journey. Once you reach there, I believe you transcend. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So you touched upon meditation. And what other things have you tried that really resonate with you now?
many things. From different body works sessions through yoga, qigong, like certain practices, through breath work, movement, music, art, many things. Sound.
Yeah. Did you start, because I know you're an artist as well. Did you start making art after your awakening or before?
No, way before.
Okay.
I was painting since I was a kid. I was always drawing something, and my parents loved when I did my art on the walls of my room. And until recently, they kept one wall that I've done when I was a bit older, but still it was a shock for them even then. So yeah, I'm an artist since I was a kid.
Do you feel like now that you're on this path and you're realizing a lot of truth, do you feel like you go back to the times when you were drawing or painting and you kind of understand it more? I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So sometimes I can draw or make a certain song, for example. And at the time, I don't know why this is coming through me.
Of course, yeah.
Okay? And then later on, when I go back and re-listen, there's kind of an understanding or a deeper understanding as to where or why you channeled that art to express it that way. Do you know what I mean?
I understand you completely.
Yeah.
And what I understood so far, you cannot see a journey going through the journey. You can only see the journey when you look backward. So I would release that kind of, I want to know what it is, because only through going through the journey, you pick up what's happening around you. So your senses expand. So I really tried to let myself go and not be in a control when I create, because when you are in control, you're suppressing yourself. So I try to be in a space of moving freely, painting freely, doing whatever I want, because it's not me who is painting. It's interesting, but actually the canvas is the one shaping you, and your hands are just following, and you're in some sort of trance when you do that. So you don't really think too much. You feel a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes emotions are very hard to be put in words. And then I'm trying not to put a label, not to awaken my logical mind, because I just want to flow wherever it needs to go. And I see visions, I see colors, I see a lot of things. And that world is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then one sentence that makes sense comes through different form, and then I collect them like dots, and then the message appears.
I had a guest last week and I asked this question. I think, I'm not sure. But the question is, where do you think creativity comes from? Like the ideas.
A good one. I like the question. I believe it comes from the source. It's the energy, it's the frequency. It's the same thing that we are made from. It's just different form. Maybe many people would question what I just said, but I'm not sure how to translate it into.
I think, can I try and
Yeah,
translate?
please.
So, source created everything. That's why it's called the source. Everything comes from the source. And I mean, source is creative energy. That's why other people call source the creator.
Exactly.
Our creative energy in our body is in our sacral.
Yeah, it's our sacral chakra.
When we get creative ideas, it's kind of like energy coming from the collective consciousness of
Right. Because,
what? I don't know.
yeah, it's
I feel like I can see it, but I can't say it.
I know it. Every artist creates from the state of the consciousness in the era they live. So you can see different artists through different years or even eras. Even if you love their paintings, but maybe you can feel the energy is very dense. There is a lot of thick colors, for example, a lot of layering. Or that's just how they transfer the message and the energy of that time or the situation they want to paint. That, for me at least, using the lighter form or something, it's the lighter energy and it's just a different frequency. And when you use a lot of texture and you want to make like a dramatic emotion, like the movement, there is many ways that you can express what you're feeling through different mixtures, medias, textures, layers of colors.
Yeah. Okay, then if we get creativity from a collective consciousness, then are we really creative? Are we really original?
Of course. Each one of us.
Yeah.
And it's somehow hard for people to believe that. And for me, I believe we are all unique and we all bring certain small piece of a puzzle. So at the end, we are one huge, big picture created of so many pieces of us.
Yeah. So if two people get the same idea, the way they manifest it into the physical is very different, right?
I believe ideas are in the quantum field. It's in the whole consciousness, it's in the energy. So your ability to tap and download ideas, I believe, would be connected to your soul contract, your path, what you want to achieve in this lifetime. If you are awakened and you understand what is your service to others, and the more you do that, the ideas would come to you. You would tap into different things, but the way you would doing it and the way you would offer and the way you would hold space is very different than somebody else. And that's the beauty.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So I wanted to dive into the topic of inner dance. I think I talked about it once in the first episode. I want to know, what does inner dance mean to you? Like, what's the definition to you?
To me. Okay. Inner dance is a very special, I would like to say practice. I don't want to say it modality because it has so many layers that it wouldn't be fair. That's what I feel. But inner dance is something that opened many doors inside of me. And the more I do it, the more I do it for myself, the more I do it for others, I open more doors. And I like to dive deep. I like to understand and I like to feel and transcend. And that's inner dance for me. I still remember the first inner dance experience. I was not able to speak. My body went so deep and my hands were moving in ways I cannot even describe. I loved it. I was so alive. Every single cell in my body was dancing. And I remember after we finished, I was trying to find Flor de Lisa in the room, and I grabbed her, and I wanted to say something, but the words were not coming. And she said, "I will teach you." And that was beginning of 2022, I think. And Flora was not based in Dubai. And I was texting her, "Are you coming? Are we going to have immersion? No. And then she came and it was mind-blowing.
Oh, so you did it the first time where?
At Seva.
Oh, in Dubai?
Yeah, in Dubai.
Oh, okay. 2 years ago, right?
No, 2022.
22.
3.
We did it last year. I did it last year. You did it the year before, 2023?
I've done it 2022 and I've done it 2023.
Okay.
And that was 2 immersions that I've done. And then I was just jumped into 1 year intensive program of 2024.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I will still do some immersions because every time you do it, you go to different space. It's not something you do once and you know exactly where you're going to go and what you're going to do. It's an energy field that it's always shaped by the group. And it always teaches you and humbles you in ways that you cannot even imagine or even predict. So every time I'm so grateful for the practice because it so grounds you and it allows you to expand at the same time. Yeah, for me, that's the inner dance.
Yeah. I feel like I understood what you mean, but because I've tried it, So if someone never tried it before, how would you kind of explain what inner dance is?
Usually what I like to say for somebody who is coming first time for the session, I would say that, first of all, inner dance is backed by science. There is a lot of neuroscience and science in regards to hormones and the brain and how the brain waves are working. But what we actually do, we use sound, we use music, layered music to put people in a certain state of sleep, REM phase of sleep, which is where the dream world happens. So during the session, you're laying down, you're completely conscious, you hear the music, you hear the people around you, but still your brain is taking you on a journey to dreams. And in that state, you can tap your subconscious mind and you can maybe face things you would need to open the doors that you need to go through to face things, to ask for questions and guidance. So whatever your intention is for that session, so you can allow the practice to show you and to give you the answers. And also it's a very somatic experience. So you don't really feel the music just with your ears. You feel it with your whole body because it has different frequencies. And we all know that every organ vibrates on a different frequency. So we tap into whole body.
Yeah. Where does if, let's say I do it now and I ask for questions and I get answers, where does the answers come from?
I would say again from the source, from the collective, from the group. Because what's beautiful about the group setting is that the group creates certain energy field. And yes, every person has its own journey, but as a group, they journey together as well. So for me, at least personally, the most important part of the practice would be at the end when it finishes and when we ground and when we sit in a circle and we share. Because somebody's sharing would be complete answer through the journey they had. And they cannot put words into it. But those words are coming from somebody else. And also when somebody else shares, your brain goes through process of the whole journey and then you can process journey together.
I don't know, when you said that, I kind of had a imagery and I would like to share it and you tell me if it makes sense.
Yeah, please.
When you said everyone goes in a circle, it's like we're all looking at the same, let's say there's a ball on top. We're all looking at the same ball, but in different angles.
Okay.
So I can't see what's on the ball from that angle. And let's say I want to know that, they're going to explain me from their point of view. Is that kind of the sharing? Like we're all seeing the same thing, but different angles?
I wouldn't say you're seeing the same thing because you might have a very different journey and very different pictures and very different images. But the words would lay in a different way. It's very relevant to your personal journey, but it's, again, interconnected. It's very hard to put in words, but somehow the feelings that when people are sharing would be very similar, but their journey would be maybe different. But the feeling, core feeling, would be very similar.
So, Flor, which is should we call her teacher?
Yeah, we can call her mama.
Okay. Fleur, she's the one who organizes these immersions with Andre,
Yeah.
and they also do voice activation and sound immersion, right?
Sound journey.
Sound journey.
Sound alchemy.
What's the difference between sound alchemy and inner dance?
In inner dance, we talk a lot about the science, as I mentioned, how you can manipulate the brain to go into a certain state and what's happening with different parts of the brain, how that affects the hormones and the heart rate and the blood pressure and where memories can go, in which part, there is a lot of science, central nervous system. For me, and production of music, layering, all of that's inner dance is very complex. For sound journeys, for me at least, personally, I would differentiate is a journey that taps into different knowledge. You tap into usage of sound through thousands of years, where we started. Sound is our primal expression. Babies cry because they don't know how to speak, but they express themselves that they are hungry, they need something. We have certain sounds when we are happy, when we are sad, when we are scared. Those are very primal, deep embedded in us knowledges. So I believe that the sound journey and sound alchemy, I would connect it to that. There is a science, but inner dance adds quite a lot. It's very, you can do sound alchemy with inner dance, and you can do sound alchemy in inner dance.
Yeah. How was your personal journey with sound journey? I
like mystical worlds, and I always travel, and sound takes me really in different realms. So, and I appreciate everybody who knows to play a lot of instruments, who is tapping into their inner voice and channeler, and when people just sing and words are flowing. There is a lot to learn in that space, especially about the trust and letting go and fully surrender of the whole flow, and being seen by others, and being in the space of vulnerability where certain emotions arises through sound. Because for me personally, sound can touch pieces inside of me where words cannot go. And it goes way deeper than words.
Yeah.
And since inner dance, I can hear in layers. My even ability to hear music and sounds and layering increased a lot. And I thought that's something you're born with. I never thought that you can actually teach your ear to listen to so many different levels. For now, for example, we're sitting here, I can hear this air that is going. I can hear even the trees behind you, or like moving a little bit. I can hear a lot.
Do you hear the frequencies or only the actual sound that they do in the physical?
Sometimes both. Depends on the journey. Sometimes one, sometimes two, sometimes both. Sometimes I see a light codes and I hear the music. So I see the
harmonics.
The harmonics.
Yeah. Well, we spoke a lot about the sound. Now, the voice. How is voice activation?
It's, I believe, personal journey for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a journey that I'm still on with my own voice and expression and authenticity, and even how the voice sounds. Yeah, and it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. You mentioned light codes.
Okay.
What are light codes?
For me, light codes, they are like symbols that carry very high frequency. So for me, when I see a light code, sometimes I paint it, sometimes I draw it. But it in certain moments, if I'm in my day-to-day life, if I see one of my light codes, my frequency and my energy spikes.
So are they like geometric shapes? Yeah. Do you think the shapes that are specifically on mosques and churches and temples are light codes?
I believe so. But now we got so used to them that they are mashrabiyas, they are patterns. All of those beautiful shapes are, I believe, channeled.
Yeah.
Especially because they're coming from sacred geometry. So there is a lot covered in sacred geometry.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think these patterns are...
Yeah, they're 100%.
You can look at them and you can never get bored.
You can never get bored, but observe once you look at them how calmer you become. Because there is a shift in a feeling in the body when you see certain patterns.
Yeah.
Because if there is a lot of noise, there is a lot of movement in the energy field in the brain. And you can even see that when you put sand on the speaker and you play a certain melody, the frequency will appear and then you will see a sacred geometry. That's the same pattern that structures everything, that puts it in a perfect shape. And that's why your thoughts are calming down.
Makes sense. I love that explanation. You reminded me when you said you become calmer when you look at patterns. Because in school, I remember in art class, I chose to... You can choose anything to do, like to any topic you want.
Okay.
And I specifically chose, I think the word is tessellation. It's where, let's say, a square.
Okay.
It can be tessellated because if you put another square next to it, there's not going to be a gap. You know what I mean?
I think so.
So a shape that you can put next to each other and there won't be a gap. I think a diamond also, it could be tessellated because diamond, and then another one here fits.
Yes.
Like let's say a square, you cut a triangle here and you place the triangle on top, so it's going to be like an arrow. That can be tessellated. So I remember I did a whole topic on that, and just seeing, at the time I couldn't explain how I felt, but seeing how the geometrical shapes aligned made me feel a certain way that I couldn't even put into words. So it makes sense when we were talking about the channeled sacred geometric shapes.
If I would watch a video of geometric shapes like moving and what you described, what you were drawing, if I see that in like movement, I would stare at it like I'm hypnotized.
It's very satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. By the way, on your Instagram, there was a post about shamanic sound. Is that like a specific practice you did, or is that the same as sound journey?
No. So inner dance can be considered as also shamanic sound journey because we use a lot of indigenous instruments during the session. So we use a lot of shakers, we use thunders, we use rain stick, drums, whatever is needed to move the energy, to help people to go through a journey, to move that energy, because a lot of things are releasing and that energy is dense. So it needs to be moved.
Yeah. What do you offer in your sessions? Like we talked about sessions multiple times, and let's say I come to you as a client. What do you offer?
It's an interesting question because currently I am in a space where I am cocooning and something wants to come through. So I'm still allowing the space to fully open for me. But I've done many trainings and I now merge all of them. I wouldn't segregate anymore. Quantum healing, then this one, then that one. So I'm not sure even how to name it. That's where I'm currently. So I'm not sure if this is even right topic for this time.
I know what you mean. Because sometimes if you're doing a billion things, you can't, like if you integrated a billion things that you have learned into one, how can you give it a name? You know?
I believe in process. So I'm just trusting the process that the time will take as much as needed for that something to mature. And I learned a lot while painting how to go through that process. So usually when I paint, I go through many journeys and not necessarily I know what I'm going to paint. I just start and I tune and feel what needs to come out, what wants to show, what wants to be seen and held and recognized and released even. So some of the paintings have 2 layers, some of them have 6, some of them finished paintings now. They have 4 paintings below because I was not sure what is the message that wants to come true. And once I see it, once I know it, I know that the journey is over. And then I have a name. It tells me at the end. So currently, I am in that process, but without a canvas.
Yeah, because I feel the same way and I'm kind of being hard on myself. Like I need to explain. Because when people ask what I do or what I tried, I don't know how to explain that.
You mean with the podcast?
No, like with sessions or healing specifically. I don't even like to use the word healing now.
Yeah, it's overused, right?
What do you mean?
My opinion, I don't want to offend anyone. It's everything is marketing. I'm not sure, I know why, but I'm not sure why we allow for certain spaces and certain things and practices to become a pure marketing and pure performance.
What do you mean?
I mean that certain practices that were held for thousands of years or hundreds of years are now on full blast, or look at me, I'm going through a deep journey. Personally, I don't like to record people going through certain journeys because it's very private, it's very sensitive, it's very vulnerable place. And once a person is open up that much to face their inner world, you want to also protect that space. It's sacred space. You're not there every time. You're not there every day. So you're really like a caterpillar that is birthing. It's very precious. And what bothers me is it's very shallow. And maybe for some people it's needed. Maybe that's their entrance ticket to start their journey and go deeper and go on that path. But that's something that I believe we have to be very responsible if we are there and offering space for people. It's a responsible place because you're holding another person, another human being. You never know who you are holding, and you never know how fragile that soul is. So that space, for me, it's always with a humbleness, with a full bow of the trust, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So what was your experience?
My experience with what?
Have you had these kind of experiences?
Where I needed to close my space, yeah. And not close my space, but like protect my space. And there were times where the energies were very strong that they still came through.
Okay.
And also because it needed to come through for something to rise and something to learn there. But yeah, I've been in those places. But sometimes I feel like I can hold space for myself. Not sometimes, most of the time. Because I have daily practices where I do them alone. I have meditations that I do it alone. And sometimes I go very deep. I don't know why I got super excited.
No, please.
Sleeping. I need to hold space for myself to sleep.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Because I journey when I sleep.
But, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, some people, when they sleep, they feel like they're falling and they get up straight away because that's them kind of not being able to go deep. It can be fear of... some people have the fear of losing consciousness.
But you're asleep.
I know that's...
I am touching this subject because I know where you want to go. So you are asleep, so you shouldn't be conscious.
That's the thing.
You should be in your subconscious mind when you sleep, when you're in a dream state.
I try, but sometimes it just happens that way. I don't know how to explain it.
But maybe you have a lucid dream when you dream in a dream. And you dream that you're holding space for you when you dream in another dream.
I mean, isn't everything lucid dreaming if we are living a dream?
Not necessarily. Sometimes I'm not aware that I have lucid dreams because they're so real. And then I realize that there are certain things that are repetitive or something feels off. And that's usually the time when you need to wake up. So you're like trying to find those exits.
Yeah. Like, I'll give you an example. That day I don't even know where I was. I can see it, but I was somewhere doing work on myself. Like, my consciousness was doing work on myself. And I hear my alarm go off. So my body is like,
Waking
Rashed,
you up.
we need to wake up. My consciousness is like, no, we're not finished yet.
Oh, I've been into those places.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like, but I have a class, and if I miss it, I'll get kicked out. Then my consciousness is like, don't worry, I'll figure it out.
You can have a conversation,
Yeah.
a proper conversation, like with somebody else, but you're actually talking to subconscious and conscious are talking to each other.
Yeah. My subconscious and my conscious always talk to each other, and I hear their voices, not their voices, they're mine. But you know what I mean.
I know.
So I feel like in our journey, we have a lot of purposes, some big, some small. Currently in your journey now, what do you think? What does your soul want to express?
So what I would like to say is that what we need, what people need at this point of time is to be there for each other. I believe we never had in history a period of time where people were so lonely, where people were so detached. And they are detached due to different things we are using in daily lives that are detaching us and programming us in a different way. But where we need to go and what we need to do, and we need to be part of the communities. We need to be with people. We need to feel ourselves. We need to feel the other. We need to acknowledge that not everything is love and light, and you can go through la emotion and bypass things that are happening in a collective, on one planet.
Yeah.
People don't realize that if you're not grounded, you cannot be in higher realms. You cannot tap into higher consciousness. And the more you tap into higher consciousness, the more you will open up yourself, and the more you will live from the heart and feel. That's the goal, not to numb yourself and detach yourself.
I like to use the analogy of a tree. If a
Exactly.
tree wants light, they have to grow their
Roots.
their base and their roots stronger.
Yes, exactly. The tree is perfect analogy, because the bigger the tree is, the deeper the roots. Sometimes are even deeper than what we see. That's the perfect analogy. Thank you for that. It's beautiful.
You're welcome. Okay, so how do you feel now that we're during the end of the episode?
Thank you for holding space, for having me here, and thank you for this conversation. It was lovely. And I would like just to ask you, what was your idea? Because I know that you were asking questions and we were having conversation, but I would like to ask you, where do you want to go with this? Which subjects you would like to tap into?
What do you mean?
With this podcast?
I want to dive into people's personal journey, because I feel like through seeing people's vulnerability, we kind of see ourselves, and it helps us gain tools or ways, or even hope that there's a way to navigate whatever we're navigating. And other than personal journeys, talking about things that people are usually afraid of talking about, like real feelings, real problems, things that are hidden from us, not necessarily like hidden from us, like I'm not trying to be the victim here, but like ancient knowledge, for example, like something like ancient medicine, for example. Like now we're very modernized that we forgot our ancient ways. Like that's an example of what I mean by hidden. Impact. Even if it's one person or 100 people, I don't care. I think just impacting or someone's life positively.
Amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going to leave Daniela's details below in the description if you want to contact or work with her. And I'm going to leave my details as well so we can connect, and see you again next week.